नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यानम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् Oh, Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकीं परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. O son of Vasudeva, slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. So, having read the first three adhyayas, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Now we take up reading of the fourth adhyaya, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Jnana is knowledge, Karma is action, Sannyasa renunciation, and Yoga is the practice, the path. So this fourth chapter, the path of renunciation of action in knowledge. The first chapter was when Arjuna had become totally desperate. He has got frustrated, and all the negative, qualities they had just grasped him. He had lost his valor. He has lost his, the warrior instinct, and he had just slumped on the floor of the chariot, saying, "I will not fight. I will not kill my own near and dear ones." In fact, those so-called near and dear ones whom Arjuna was saying, they had perpetrated so much of wrongs on these Pandavas. But now at this juncture, deluded by that veil of Maya, becoming highly ignorant, Arjuna just slumped on the floor of the chariot and saying that his Gandhi fell down from his hand, the arrows fell down from the container, and with tears flowing from his eyes, Arjuna just surrendered to Krishna, saying, "I cannot fight now. You tell me what is to be done." And then in that second adhyaya, the Sankhya Yoga, great knowledge, the great treatise of knowledge that Krishna gave to Arjuna. Krishna started off his teachings with a beautiful smile on his face. And then he narrated all that great knowledge. He taught that great knowledge in terms of what is the reality of the Atman, and as the knowledge as propounded by the Sankhya philosophers. Next in line was to tell Arjuna how to perform your duty. Enough of this, crying and weeping and making this scene of slumping into the chariot saying, "I will not fight." No, you have to do karma. And Krishna taught him how one should do karma without getting attached to the karma. And towards the later part of the karma yoga, he also gave that wonderful teaching of what makes a person get into sinful acts, that desire. He also told us where is that desire hiding in our system, in our body, in our, the personality as such. Where is it hiding? And having shown that hiding place of the desire, the senses, the mind, and the intellect. Having known that desire hides here, Krishna says, be ruthless and just slaughter that desire. Let it not, you know, again, bring up its head. And then, with senses, the mind, and the intellect surrendered to the divine, keep on doing your karma. Don't run away from doing the karma. So, after these three beautiful adhyayas, the chapters, now Sri Krishna is going to tell about the renunciation of action in knowledge. How to renounce everything in the ultimate knowledge to the divine. Jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Shrī Bhagavān uvācha. Sri Krishna said, great blessed Lord said, imaṁ vivasvate yogaṁ proktavān aham avyayam vivasvān manave prāha manur ikṣhvākave bravīt. Imaṁ vivasvate yogaṁ proktavān aham avyayam. Imaṁ yogaṁ. This yoga, how is this yoga? How is this path? How is this teaching that I have given? Avyayam, it is imperishable. This imperishable teaching, aham proktavān. Proktavān is taught. Aham, by me. This great teaching, this great yoga, this great path was taught by me. This great imperishable path. This can never go off. This can never worn out. The knowledge can never become old. This is imperishable. Avyayam. This cannot be disputed. This cannot be disputed. This cannot be perished. This can never become old. This is for eternity. This knowledge remains, and this knowledge was given to me. Krishna is telling to whom? None other than Vivasvat. Vivasvat is the Lord Sun God, who was the first, who appeared first at the time of creation. So Sri Krishna is saying, this imperishable knowledge was first taught by me, Vivasvat. Not to any Ira Agara, not to any Tom, Dick and Harry, but Vivasvat, I had taught this great knowledge, this imperishable knowledge, this indisputable knowledge, this path, yoga. Vivasvān manave prāha. Vivasvān then taught this to his son Manu. Vivasvān manave prāha. Prāha is again taught, like proktavān. Vivasvān taught it to Manu, his son. And Manu ikṣhvāku bravīt. And Manu taught this to his son, Ikshvaku. So this is coming, this great teaching which I had taught to Vivasvān is coming down the great lineage from Vivasvān to Manu, from Manu to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is supposed to be the originator of Ikshvaku dynasty, Ikshvaku clan. Lord Rama belonged to the Ikshvaku clan. Ikshvaku was the great ancestor of Lord Rama himself. In the genealogical this thing, it is said that Sri Rama was 62nd descendant of Ikshvaku. So that is how this knowledge is imperishable. Right from the first advent of Sun God at the time of creation, Lord taught it to Vivasvān. The Sun God himself was taught by Lord. Then came further teaching down to his son Manu. And then Manu taught it to Ikshvaku. This, the blessed Lord said, this imperishable yoga I declared to Vivasvat. Vivasvat taught it to Manu, and Manu told it to Ikshvaku. See how generation after generation knowledge is being passed on. Moksha or the spiritual emancipation being imperishable, yoga or the means to it is also designated as imperishable. The path that leads to the ultimate knowledge, liberation, emancipation, can the path itself is imperishable. The path can never go, never vanish. The path can never diminish. The path can never get, never become extinct. The path is always there. Like emancipation, like the liberation, like self knowledge is always there. It is imperishable. It cannot just vanish as it is. It will remain forever, eternal, from eternity to eternity. Man's endeavors for emancipation are everlasting. Practice of yoga is also therefore everlasting. It cannot abruptly end. No, it is always there. Vivasvat is the name of Surya, the sun god. Manu is the ruler immortalized by his smriti, the code of conduct. Our existing human race is supposed to be. We are the descendants of that Manu lineage. That he is the the ultimate ancestral position of the existing human race in this particular yuga. Ikshvaku is the first among the kings of the solar dynasty of Rama. When the rulers of kingdoms come to know of this supreme wisdom, they tackle the worldly problems more diligently. Now, why Krishna told about Ikshvaku, that is very interesting. This knowledge is not only for the gods. Like he told about Vivasvat. He's a sun god. Now, sun god, I mean, the gods can always have this kind of, eternal knowledge. But Sri Krishna says, no, this knowledge from Vivasvat, it came down to Manu, the progenitor of the existing human race. Manu passed it on to his son Ikshvaku. Now, Ikshvaku was a king, the dynast. So Sri Krishna says that it is not that is knowledge that I am giving you, which I have given you in fact in the previous two adhyayas, the Jnana Yoga, the Karma Yoga. This knowledge is not an ordinary knowledge. It is, first of all, it is imperishable knowledge. It is an eternal knowledge. And this knowledge is not used only by gods. God, sun god, the Surya Dev, I gave it to him. He passed it on to his son Manu, and Manu passed it on to his son Ikshvaku, who was a great king. So, Krishna is telling this knowledge, even the kings have learned the path to liberation. Don't think that I am telling you just like that. You are also a king. Arjuna, he is telling you are also a king. And at one point of time, I have given this knowledge to Vivasvat, the great originator of this entire creation. So Krishna says that I have given it to, even the knowledge has come down even to the king, King Ikshvaku, the dynast, and today I have told it to you. So that is the first shlok of the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, great lineage that this knowledge has been coming down from generation to generation, it is passed on. And we are lucky enough that through Sri Krishna's dialogue with Arjuna, Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, we are getting great teaching on this particular Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga also. That was the reading of this first shlok of the fourth adhyay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Swami.